Okay, this is on page 690 in the book, and it's number 45. The problem is x squared over 9 plus y squared over 8 equals 1. You know this is an ellipse because it follows the ellipse formula, which is x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. And you know this is going to be a horizontal ellipse because the x is over the a value. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be very long like that in horizontal. So right away, when you look at the graph, you can tell that the center is going to be at 0, 0 because of the x values, because x minus 0 is 0. So that's why there's just x squared and y squared. And this is also known as HK for formula wise. And then also from the equation that was given, you can find out your a and your b squared value. So your a squared value is going to be under the x, so it's going to be 9. Your b squared is under the y, which is going to be 8. And then you're able to find out your c squared from the equation c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So you have a squared equals 9 minus 8. C squared equals 1. And then in order to get your a, b, and c value, you simply square root both terms. So for your a squared, you would square root the a, square root the 9, so that is 3, square root the b, square root the 8, which is 8. And square root 8 will simplify down to 2 root 2. And then square rooting 1 is just 1. So from these numbers now, you're going to be able to find your vertices, co-vertices, and your foci. And it'll also make it easier to graph. So we'll draw the graph down here. Right away, you know your center is at 0, 0. And then in order to find your vertices, you have to use the formula h plus a over k. So your h value is 0 plus your a, which is 3. So your vertices are going to be 3, 0, and then negative 3, 0. Because you take your 0 value and you plus 3, or you minus 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then your co-vertices are going to be above and below the center value because since it's a horizontal ellipse, they're on the y-axis. And your formula for that is going to be h, k plus or minus b. Should be minus. So for these ones, you're going to have 0 and then plus or minus root 2. So 2 root 2 and then negative 2 root 2. So 1, 2, just a little bit above it. And then if you look, you kind of have this ellipse and it's horizontal, so it's more stretched out. And your foci are going to be somewhere along this x-axis because it's going to be on the same line as the vertices. So the formula to find your foci are going to be h plus or minus c value over k. So you have 0 plus or minus the 1. So you have 1, 0, and then negative 1, 0. So right here, these are your two foci. And then the equation asks for the vertices, the foci, and the graph. So this would be your answer. All this, and then the graph.